So welcome. This is going to be a short video with the intention of bringing a boost to the immune system and then moving towards rest. For me, when I think of the immune system, I think we need some movement to mobilize the lymph. The lymphatic system is what kind of drains and circulates and helps with our immunity. So I think that's important, but also moving into a resting place. And we're also going to invite some exploration of scripture, taking inspiration from Psalm 139. So I invite you to lie down on your mat to begin our practice. And this is my friend Jesse, just in case you're wondering, I'm house cat sitting, so he's here with us today. He's an elder, so we treat him with respect and kindness. So once you arrive on your mat, you might bend your legs. You might draw your knees a bit closer, your feet a bit wider. Just find a place where you can settle into ease in your low back. And maybe you rest your arms by your sides with your palms facing skyward. Just take a moment to really arrive, check in with yourself. Maybe you've been dealing with a challenge physically, mentally, or emotionally as you come to the mat. We just come to the mat just as we are. And when we come to the mat, we really feel like we're coming into a sacred space within our bodies, inviting God onto our mat as well. So just starting to connect with your breath in a way that feels comfortable and natural. You could place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, or any other expression. Exploring the fullness of your inhale and the fullness of your exhale. And as you connect with your breath, I would like to offer you just a little bit of our scripture that we'll be exploring today. And again, it's from Psalm 139. I'm going to start with verse 5. You hem me in, behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it. Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? Skipping down to 11. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night. Even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as day, for darkness is as light with you. So we invite this light of God, light of healing, into our bodies, minds, and hearts. We imagine and know deep in our hearts that God is before us, behind us, and all around us. We are resting right now in His presence. We are also invited to be co-creators with God as we help Him create health and well-being within ourselves. So when you're ready, we'll start with just a gentle gesture. Take your arms out to the sides in any expression. Feel this expanse move up from your belly to your ribs to your chest. And we'll move a little bit with our breath. As you inhale, we open those arms, make ourselves available to God. As you exhale, we give ourselves a little hug, acknowledging our part in the healing. Inhaling, opening to God's grace and light. Exhaling, a little hug, a gesture of self-compassion, maybe self-acceptance. Keep going with this movement. Just embodying these two qualities of being open and receptive to God, and also partnering up with Him to bring health and well-being to ourselves. Next time, leave your arms open. We're going to do our first little self-massage here. And we're going to massage a little bit. We'll take our right hand, massage into the left side of the neck. So a lot of lymph nodes reside in the neck, the underarms, the belly, and the hips. So we'll be bringing in a little massage here and there. Maybe you rock your head a little bit side to side. Just massaging into the neck. And then massaging a bit into your armpit. Again, this area is rich with lymph nodes, lymphatic tissues, so just inviting this gentle movement, this gentle invitation for healing. When that feels complete, just reach that left arm up to the sky and give it a little shake. Again, movement, moving the lymph, just shaking it out. And then set that arm down. Take a big breath or two. Notice any subtle differences in the two sides. And we'll do that on the other side. So take your left hand and massage into the right side of your neck. Again, your head might move a little bit, creating more movement, more massaging action there. And all very intuitive. This gesture of self-care, self-compassion, accepting our bodies just as they are, our minds, our hearts. And then massaging into the armpit. Continue to breathe deeply. And then take that arm up and give it a little shake. Maybe those audible exhales help you let go, relax into the moment, relax into the healing. And then let it go. Just arms gently by the sides. Notice if you were holding a weight, the weight of the world on your shoulders and your neck, it feels a little lighter. And then we'll draw one knee and the other in towards the chest. Ponytail adjustment. And give yourself a hug. Gently circling in a way that makes sense to you. Again, we're kind of massaging a bit into the belly, the back, a little bit around the hips. Just creating that massage for the lymphatic system. Going in both directions. And when that feels complete, we'll reach fingers and toes up to the sky, and again, give yourself a little shake. This is the gentlest of an inversion. Maybe you feel a little silly. Maybe taking yourself less seriously. Feeling a little silly might be good for your immune system. Hug back in. Set one foot and the other foot down. We'll just do one more movement here. Feet nice and wide like windshield wipers. Arms out into that T shape. And just windshield wiper your legs from side to side in a way that makes sense to you. And we're creating that gentle movement in through the groin area where that lymphatic tissue sits, into the belly. Maybe your head moves from side to side. It might follow the knees or opposite the knees, whatever intuitively you feel guided to move to. And when that feels complete, just set your feet down, rest for a moment, and observe your body. Maybe you close your eyes down for a moment. Visualize the healing light of God moving into your body, into any particular systems, muscles, or what have you that need healing. Visualize His presence all around you. And when you're ready to transition, we'll gently roll to either side, using our hands to press ourselves up. And we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So we'll just be finding the shoulders right over the wrists, the knees underneath the hips. And once you arrive there, just take yourself right into another little self-massaging movement, your cat and cow. So as you inhale, begin to tip the pelvis, tip the belly, lift the heart. As you exhale, wave it in the other direction, maybe starting with the head, the belly, the pelvis. Keep moving with your breath, inhaling into your cow. Exhaling, arching, rounding into your cat. Visualizing all those little segments of the spine, the body, the neck, the middle of the spine, the pelvis, getting that little tilt. And when that feels complete, we'll prepare to transition. We're just going to come to stand for a few movements. So maybe we walk our hands forward, tuck our toes, inhaling, lifting those hips up to the sky, maybe just a brief down dog. Down dog is actually a little bit of an inversion, where the hips are up higher than the heart, good for the nervous system, good for the immune system. Again, move in ways that feel good to you, or maybe you just find stillness in the shape. Maybe down dog is feeling too strenuous for you, and you take a child's pose. When you're ready, mindfully walk those feet forward towards the hands, and we'll slowly roll our bodies up, coming into a mountain pose. So as you come into your mountain, make sure you're comfortable. The feet might be just underneath the hips. And listen to your body. What does your body want to do here? Maybe your hands come into prayer as your heart. Maybe they sit down by the sides. Maybe you like to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Settle into your mountain. Maybe close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Fill your body with this breath. Maybe you visualize that healing light of God filling your body. As you stand for something here, You stand for your faith, but you also stand for your own commitment to your healing. And maybe a full healing honestly isn't what God has in store for you. So maybe your healing is a sense of acceptance and just co-creating with God to make you the healthiest human possible. Relax your arms. And I'm going to do a little bit more of that kind of tapping and self-massage. So we're going to start by taking our left hand, we'll tap up the outside of the right arm. Definitely get your neck and shoulder. Can come down the other side. So we'll do that a couple times. Soften your knees, tapping up the outside. Little love to the neck. Love to that inner armpit. One more time. Now come up the back of your arm as you lift your arm and start tapping into that armpit again. We'll tap all the way down, like we're kind of draining out any stagnation, inviting the healthiest lymphatic system possible. A couple of times, just tapping down. And then relax that left arm by your side. Go right into a little spiral of that right arm, a little lateral movement, still moving your neck around from side to side. Like you're just yawning open, creating spaciousness in the right side. Maybe you hold for a moment or two. Full breath, right side of the body. Let it go. This time maybe bend your knees, roll shoulders back. Observe any subtle differences between the sides of the body. And we'll do that on the other side. So soft knees, tap up the outside of the left arm into the neck. Bring it around the other side of the arm. Gentle tapping movements. And this time we'll bring it up the back of the arm. Tap into that armpit again. Tap it down into the belly, the side, a couple times. Make sure you're breathing deeply. Healthy lymphatic system. And then go right into your kind of lateral side bending rotation. And all these little movements, waking up the area around the neck, the armpits, all the lymphatic tissue. Then hold at the top again, your way. Really deep breath. Our deep breath helps to bring vitality into the immune system as well. Circle that arm around, bend your knees, roll the shoulders. Observe your body. Invite God's healing presence all around you, within you. And then we'll move right into a standing twist, one of my favorite movements. So the feet are at least as wide as the hips. We'll start twisting. One heel lifts up and then the other, so we're creating that little massage in the groin. Your choice here. You could tap into the low back. This is giving a little love to the kidneys. Another little filter for us. Can feel good if your back feels a little tender sometimes, to just give it that little acknowledgement. Another version of this is to create kind of an open-hearted. Sometimes I like to really just tap into the chest. more lymphatic tissue on either side of the breastbone. Okay, just let it be free and natural. Maybe you just like the legs. Feel loose arms. Keep twisting. Twists are kind of like a wringing out our sponge. And when that feels complete, come back to neutral, right back into your mountain, arms, hands, wherever they feel guided to be. And notice. It's really in this stillness that we can sense that ever-present presence of God around us, within us. The vitality of our own being. And relax your arms. And I just feel called to do a few more standing poses. I think warrior poses embody that co-creation with God. We're stepping up, acknowledging the choices that we make to make time for God, make time for our healthy bodies. So let's come to the top of our mat. And let's start by just taking a big step back. You can take your hands on your hips with your left foot. So we're guiding into Warrior Two to begin. The front knee bends. It's kind of aligned over the front toes. The back foot, maybe the heel is back a little further than the toes. You don't have to get too precise hands on your hips. And move in and out of the pose. Maybe inhale down, exhale, come to center. And again, the subtle movement is creating that massage into the belly, in through the hips. And then let's add some arm movements into it. Maybe as we inhale, we reach up. Exhale, pass the hands behind our head and just press out, traditional Warrior Two. Inhale up. Exhale, press it out, press and clear. Inhale up, reach up to God. Exhale, press and clear. One more time. Maybe hold just for a moment here. Maybe feeling a radiance around you, like you're just reaching out to God and He's holding your hand. Then take the hands to the hips. We're just going to make a subtle twist, subtle shift to Warrior One. So rearrange your hips now to face towards the front of the mat. Get rounded. And then when you're ready, reach your hands up like you're reaching your hands up in praise and wonder to your wonder-working God. The wonders He creates. The wonders that we co-create with Him. When you're ready, take the arms down. We'll just, let's actually turn towards the top of our mat. We'll take a nice wide-legged stance, just transitioning through star pose. So feet nice and wide as they feel comfortable. Just radiate your arms out. If it feels comfortable and natural, close your eyes. Breathe deeply, feel that inner glow, that light. Relax your arms, and we'll do our Warrior Two on the other side. So the left toe points to the back of the mat. We're pretty much set up here. We can go right into the massage. Inhale, bend in. Exhale, come out. Again, not too far. Listen to your body. Inhaling down, exhaling up, nice tall spine. Being very intentional about all our movements and why we're doing each and every pose. All right, so hold the pose, shoulders over the hips. We'll add that arm movement. Inhale, reach up towards God. Exhale, pass those hands back behind your head or reach and radiate out. Inhale up. Exhale, out and shine. 2 more times. Reach up to God and radiate out. Again, like you're holding hands with your Creator, feeling His energy move through you. Relax your arms down and make that subtle shift. Bend into the front knee. You might take that right foot out just a little wider as you dip into that front knee and come into Warrior One on this side. So nice and grounded, rooted in our faith, in our trust in God. Next inhale with praise, reach up. Just breathe. Use this warrior pose as a real chance to just connect with your Father God. Maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's help. What do you need to say to God? Take your arms down and let's turn towards our medium stance with our legs, and we'll just take one more round of our twisting. Standing twist, what do you like? Tapping the back, tapping the heart. When that feels complete, come back once again to your mountain. Simply resting in your own presence. The presence of your soul. Presence of your God. How near? How near? From here, we'll just come back to the top of our mat. We're going to be coming down for some closing, more restorative poses. I forgot to mention a blanket or a pillow would be really good for this practice. If you need to pause and grab a blanket or 2 pillows, that would be great. So we'll inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward your way. Come down onto your hands and your knees. Maybe it would just feel good to rock those hips. And I'm going to come into child's pose. So widen your knees, touch your toes, hips move back towards the heels. Can surrender our forehead right down to the mat. If it doesn't comfortably reach, you can bring in a blanket. You can find your expression here. Maybe you like to roll your palms up in this gesture of just offering up praise, offering up prayers, petitions to God. Keep breathing just fully and deeply. Knowing your breath can be that powerful tool for just cleansing, clearing, releasing, surrendering to God. Whenever you're ready, come up to your hands and your knees, and we're going to come to a seated position. You may need a little something underneath the back of your hips as we come into a shape called butterfly. So we can hold on to our ankles. First, we're going to just kind of stay tall in your spine. Relax your shoulders and simply breathe. As you inhale here, you might feel that your heart is lifting up to be seen, to be healed by God. As you exhale, you invite His healing like it's already happened. From here, we can take our feet out just a little further. This is more like a star shape. This is going to get a little bit more into the outer hips. So if you're feeling it, you can lengthen up and fold forward. Listening to your back. I always take this time to give my feet a little massage here. You might do the same if you feel guided. Again, not forcing the body. Maybe bowing your head in a gesture of humility and reverence, knowing just the power of your God to move into your life and to bring healing. And maybe before that healing comes things that we just don't understand or fathom, but we just allow God to move in His way, not ours. When you're ready, come back up. Draw those knees a little closer. Sit tall for a moment. And then I usually feel like I need to move the prop out. Here we're going to take our feet wide and just windshield wiper those knees from side to side a little bit. Massaging into those hips. You could take this a little bit more into a twist. Let's rock our knees to the left, take our right hand on the hip, and just look behind you in any way that serves. Gentle twist. If this situation is too much in your legs, you could have your legs closer together. And then bring it on over to the other side. Left hand on the hip, turn to face the back of your mat and breathe right into your kidneys, your adrenals. Come back to neutral. So those poses were to set us up for a really nice restorative pose. And we have a couple of options. So if you have two bed pillows, you might set them up at the top of your mat, or if you have a bolster, you could set that up. I'm just going to kind of work with what I have here and fold my blanket up like this. So we're going to do deer pose or a variation. So right leg comes in front like a triangle, left leg comes in back like a triangle. It gets easier when we go into this forward bend and twist, which is really restorative. But if this situation doesn't end up working for you, you can bring your knees together and maybe put a little pillow in between. So we've got our legs in deer pose or the other variation, and we're going to turn over our bolster, our pillows, And we're just gonna lay right down, and the head's gonna turn left or right. Most people will go left on this side, but glasses off. And just settle down. Now, I'm pretty flexible with this pose. You might need more height. You might put another pillow underneath here, come up a little bit higher, or just have a lot more support here. But this tends to work enough for me. But listen to your body. The idea is you want to be relaxed. You're in a twist, which is good for our immune system, that kind of wringing out. You're in a forward fold, which relaxes the nervous system. And we're also creating that massage into the belly and the hips. Again, another option would be to have the legs together and be just like this. Make sure you are comfortable. We're going to stay here for a good minute or so and just breathe. This is your time to invite the quality of stillness, and just imagine yourself surrounded behind you, in front of you, all around you by that healing presence of God. Maybe you allow your exhalations to become just a little longer than your inhalations, really allowing that nervous system to relax, invoke a sense of healing, resting, just digesting whatever it is that you're walking through, and inviting in God. If you really feel like you want to linger here longer, just hit the pause button and linger. If you're ready to come out really slowly. And you can just turn yourself around to get to the other side. I'm going to resituate myself so I can face you. But now the left leg is in front, the right leg is behind us. And we're going to twist and come right on down. Remember, we want to be really comfortable. We want to relax the shoulders. If this leg situation doesn't work, you can bring your knees together. So focus on the fullness of your breath, maybe letting those exhalations be a little bit longer. Remember, in this stillness, we invite this connection with Father God. If there's anything you want to say to Him, feel free. Or just feel like you're basking in His presence. And again, you might linger here and hit pause, or if you're ready to rise, really gently rising on up. And we'll take our prop, our pillow, our blanket with us. Just keep it nearby. We're just going to transition now so we are back onto our backs. Might feel good to give yourself a loving hug or a rock. Whatever movements would feel just right to you here. And then we'll set our feet down. We're going to come into another really gentle inversion. So we're going to take our pillow or our blanket and set it right underneath the tailbone, right underneath the lower part of the hips. And this is a really nice, gentle inversion. Again, make sure you're comfortable with your prop. Arms can rest by your side. Sometimes I like to reach my arms over my head. Again, intuitively coming into shapes and variations that serve you. Maybe you take your arms into a cactus or just any position. This bridge pose is symbolic that there is a bridge between us and God, and again, we need to actively co-create with Him. We need to ask, trust, and do our own part to take care of these vessels that God created for us. You could stay right in supported bridge. This is a beautiful inversion, but if you feel like going a little deeper, you could reach your legs up to the sky. And in any amount, just finding a place of ease. Again, taking those arms wherever they feel guided to be. And this is that time to allow that lymph to drain. You might take a moment to reach your arms up, circle the wrists, circle the ankles. Again, actively working with your body to co-create and connect with the healing light and vision that God has for you. When that feels complete, just find a bit of stillness here. And if your legs don't feel comfortable in this position, they can be right back down in your supported bridge. Relax your face. When we turn ourselves upside down in inversions, it reminds me of the Bible passage, when Jesus says, "Not my way, Father, but yours." How can we let our egos get out of the way and just let God do the work to invoke this sense of healing? Whenever you're ready, if your legs are up, you can bring them down one at a time. Just take another full breath or two in your supported bridge. Bridging, connecting with God. crop. Slowly let your tailbone come down. Maybe take your feet a little wider, give them a little rock from side to side. And then a couple options here. You could take reclining bound angle. And for that, I really like to have blocks, but sometimes I can just use a blanket, or you could use 2 pillows. So I'm gonna do this, set it underneath my thighs, so that when I join my feet and open my knees, I have just a little support right here underneath my thighs. So that could be just enough. You might need more, some blocks or bigger pillows to support. And if this position just doesn't feel comfortable at all to you, you can reverse it and draw your knees together, your feet wide, to really allow that grounding sensation in your lower pelvis. So whatever shape works for you. And you might take your arms up to the sides, palms rolled open. You might take your arms out like you're reaching up for God, in a sense of co-creating and trusting Him. And intuitively placing your body that makes sense to you. Takes us right back to the beginning of our practice, when we were opening our arms and then giving ourselves a hug. Just opening ourselves up to receive this healing light of God. And lingering in any shapes longer if you choose. But if you're ready to transition, you can draw your knees up. And this is actually the perfect place, if you have something underneath you here like I do, to just straighten your legs out and move into Shavasana. By placing something underneath the thighs like this, it creates a little more relaxation into the front of the hips and the back. Rolling your palms up, finding a place of rest. Sometimes instead of a traditional Shavasana, I really like to keep that inversion going. I actually could do it right here. A couch is really nice for this. You can just set your legs up, either on a chair or a shelf, and rest. When I do that, I like a little something underneath my head. But I want you to choose your shape for your final resting pose. You could have taken legs up the couch, the chair, the wall. Could be in traditional Shavasana. Finding a place of ease. For a moment, you might focus on your breath, just filling in. Those inhales, filling in with the light, the healing of God. Exhaling, relaxation, surrendering to His plan. And as you rest here, I just like to read most of Psalm 139 over you, just really continuing to invoke our sense of healing and just being in the full presence of God all around us. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all of my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in, behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. I invite you to just imagine God laying his healing hand on you. Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depth of the earth. Your eyes saw me, my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. If I would count them, they are more than the sand. I awake, and I am still with you. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous ways in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Lingering here in your Shavasana. Truly knowing that God is all around you. His healing hand lies upon you. Truly stay here as long as you like, resting. And know that when you do awake and arise, that God is with you.